Hello! It's me. It's the boy. Where are we? Is that what we want? That's a black screen. A casual. Have I got the right... There we go. Welcome in, everybody. For the next race of the season. We're here in Austria. And there we go. Pace has joined us just right at the death there. 1 minute late. Absolutely shambolic from our VCAB driver there. Yes, we're in Austria. It's a sprint weekend. Very exciting. We haven't had a sprint here since Belgium, I think? No, we cancelled the sprint in Belgium, didn't we? It would have been... Oh, I don't know. I should know this as the, as the commentator admin. But yes, we're at a sprint weekend, which means we've got short quali, 12-lap sprint, short quali again, and a 36-lap race. Excuse me, I'm actually going to go blow my nose before I start absolutely yapping at a computer screen. Let me do that. Oh, I've got the lurgy, boys. I've got the lurgy. I've got whatever's going around at the moment. My partner, bless her, is very sick at the moment. I've been okay for the most part, but I'm here. My voice has returned. I had a really nasty throat earlier this week, but I'm here. If I sound nasally, you know why. But yes, enough yapping from me. We got 16 drivers here participating. In the sprint, we only score points up to the top 10. So 10 points for first place, 9 points for second place, all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. And we score up to P15 in the race. So if all drivers finish the race, then one person will not score points. I have got myself a unfiltered Birra Moretti Salad here. A nice tall boy as well. This is what, 660ml. This is going to be my nectar. I'd love to have found an Austrian beer, but I did have a very short time today. I've been very busy this week and very ill. So that's going to be my choice of beverage. I know a couple of guys in the league love to have a good drink while they do this on a Sunday evening. Let's have a look at the weather. This is what I'm most intrigued about. So, clear skies here in sprint qualifying. 12 minutes for the drivers to go around and set their laps. This is the only session, of course, as a reminder. So the final finishing order in this session will be the starting order for the race. I'm just going to quickly check what my notification is there. Make sure everything's okay. Yeah, so a couple of the admins in the chat there just reminding people, for those of you who are listening on stream, the sprint lane, the pit lane, excuse me, is obviously very short here. Very quick, even, on the last corner in Austria. Sorry, I made a pig's meal of that there. Let me try that again. The entrance for the pit entry is very close to the apex of the final corner, so we have asked drivers to telegraph their intention to pit, as we've had incidents in the league before. But having a look, 3 drivers come out, 4 drivers actually. Have come out, 5 people streaming at the moment. We're going to stay on board here with Kev on the soft tyre. You'll see a couple drivers set on the mediums, a couple drivers on the softs. I expect the sprint to be done on the medium tyre, 12 laps. So Kev is out at the moment. We've got a Tesco out behind him as well. Both Mercs are out. Both Haas's are out. Gio joining us after a few races off. Very excited to see Gio back. Vibora also with us in the other Haas, and then that is going to be Chubby Slug in the Ferrari. Forgive me, I forgot to mention at the top of the stream as well, we've got a new driver with us. It's Casper? I'm going to say Casper, who is deputizing for Fatboy Sim, who is unable to race today. But we're going to go on board with Kev as he sets his first lap around Austria. Such a short circuit, of course. Only, what, 9 corners there or thereabouts, 3 DRS zones. The tiniest of margins make the difference here. You go up to T1, you can use a lot of the curb on entrance, and you don't want to invalidate or touch that yellow curb on the exit there. Kev keeps it pretty safe there as to not invalidate. Coming up to turn 2, which is in a corner, and then turn 3, the slowest corner on the circuit. Really important to get a good exit there. Just sort of as the Alpine sort of brushing some gravel up there, which really threw me off. But yes, you want to brake, you want to turn in early, you want to get on the throttle early as well. Shooting all the way down to turn 4. This is a really understeery corner here. You can use a lot of the curve on the inside to rotate the car, but the gravel comes at you really quickly because of the camber. Then you go into Sector 2, which is a very twisty section here. This is where your high downforce drivers are going to gain a lot of time. You can see using a lot of the exit curb there. Williams just getting out of the way. Don't wash too wide and invalidate here. Kev keeps it very sensible. And the last sector is just two very, very fast corners. This is the penultimate corner where we see the pit entrance is just a quick downshift. Throw the car in. Don't wash too wide. Kev keeps it very safe. And don't wash too wide on the final corner as well. You can tell track limits is going to be a very big deal here. Kev crosses the line. Does a 104.772. Having a look at the Haas drivers, let's see what they do. Gio is going to cross the line now. Vibora sets a 108.456. Chubby with a 105.068 as well. Tesco, we can see, is just lining up to go again. I think he invalidated. Having a look there, Mr. CD is out on a lap at the moment. We'll check in on how the Alpine is doing. He's flying along at the moment. Yeah, Tesco there. Tesco was just doing a second warm-up lap. Baz is on a lap. Lucalis is on a lap as well. Devereaux, big lockup from Mr. CD there. Going into the hairpin. That's another driver who's gone off there. Musty. And the Alpine's a 104.4. So we'll keep an eye on him. I'm trying to see who else is going to cross the line in a minute. Lucalis, that's a 104.4 as well. That's going to be Skarma in the other V-car brand in the final corner. We'll check in on how he's doing. Skarma, is he on a lap at the moment? Yeah, he is on a lap. Skarma, where's he put it? P5, 105.2. I'm going to check in. How are the... well, he's still in the pits, excuse me. Let's check on how the Williams are doing. Baz there is starting his lap, I think. Devereaux there sets a 105.4 as well there with... just alongside Scum. I'm just checking anyone else at a time. No. Such a short track here, so it's difficult for me to keep on track with everybody's times. Rob is currently going at the moment. Michelando is set to 105.2. We'll stay on board with Rob here as he runs the final two corners. Gio has a 115. Obviously, he's going to have to go again. Tesco does improve to a 105.0 on the worn tyre. That's a Haas going into the pits there in front of you. Rob sets a 104.8. So lots of 105s, lots of 104s. Gio will almost certainly go again. That's Pace with a 105.0 as well. Casper is coming out of the pits. Mr. CD did pit. I'm going to check in on Baz, how the Williams driver is doing. So I think Mr. CD might have invalidated, or might have been the lockup actually going into the hairpin. So we'll see how he does. And Chiv is currently out on a lap as well. So Baz, where's he going to put it when he crosses the line? It's a 105.4 right next to his teammate. These two are so evenly matched. It is unbelievable. We'll check in with Chiv here. Half the session gone now. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Chiv, Mr. CD, and Casper all still yet to set times. Gio still not yet set a representative time. He is actually going around again, so I'm going to see if I can find the Haas driver here. Let's see what he can do on his second run here. Maybe set a more representative time. It's a 105.3 from Gio. Checking on Chiv, how he navigates the middle sector. It's very understeery through here. We mentioned before, drivers are going to have a real mix of setups here. Some are going to be running really aggressive downforce setups. Some are going to be running really low downforce. So you sacrifice the aero in Sector 2 for the speed on the straights. But if you run high downforce, you can get away in Sector 2, so the DRS isn't powerful enough on the straights. It's a very interesting balance. Chiv there sets a 105.3. I'm going to check in on the Ferrari driver, Casper, who is joining us for the first time. We'll see where he can go, deputizing for Ferrari, who are in a constructors' battle at the moment with McLaren and Aston Martin. Although I'll tell you, it's closer between McLaren and Aston Martin, isn't it? So we'll see Chubby Slug is out as well at the moment. I think he's on a flying lap, so we'll see how he does. Yeah, he is... No, I don't know if he's actually on a lap. I'm going to check in with Casper as well. We'll check and see how he is doing. Looking up and down the grid, Tesco is out at the moment. I don't know if he's... Tesco did a double warm-up last time, so we'll check and see what he does. Mr. CD's come out of the pits as well, or he is out in the middle of the track, I think. There's too many blue dots that look the same, see? So we stick on board Casper on the medium tyres. So if I chuck this on here, we see, yes, a big stretch of tyres at the moment. Lots of drivers using lots of different compounds to... set their time. I expect soft runs all at the end. Of course, Casper there crosses the line with a 105.5 right in between Vibora and Devereaux. So we'll see if he can get any improvement on that. Tesco's in the pits. Kev is out on a lap at the moment. Mr. CD is on a lap as well. So we'll go on board with the Alpine driver and see if he can set a representative time. The only driver to have not set a time so far. Vibora has also started a lap. Chubby Slug, I think... I think he was with a 104.7 at the start, then he might have come into the pits. Yeah, we'll see drivers come out now in the next few minutes on the soft tyres Geo did a couple on the mediums. So yeah, so Casper is going around. He might set another lap. He might decide to pit in. Vibora is currently on a lap. Mr. Seedy's on a lap, who we're on board with now. I think Kev is on a lap as well. Baz is the next driver to come out. And you can see up and down there, people putting on the soft tyres are going to go on board with Mr. Seedy as he navigates his way through the final sector. I'm really excited to see what he does. Oh, it's a lot of curb from Mr. Seedy. A lot of curb there as Kev improves to a 104.4, puts in P2 as it stands. Mr. Seedy will see this one to the end, but had to crank on a lot of opposite lock to stop the car from spinning out on him. He is going to set a representative time, but he's surely lost a boatload of time from that. Mr. Seedy puts it P15. It's a 106.5 from Mr. Seedy. Let's check where Vibora is as he crosses the line. Is he able to improve? And his time he does to a 107.1, but not enough to displace Mr. Seedy down in P15. Baz is going to be the next one to watch here. So Kev improved to a 104.4. We didn't catch it, but I'm going to see how Baz, the Williams driver, does here. He has had a great qualifying run this season so far, put himself into some pretty tasty positions in the knockout quali. So we'll see what Baz can do here in sprint quali. Takes a lot of curve on the inside. Very good there. He gained a lot of time. I actually thought he was going to invalidate. Very confident from the Williams driver. Gio and Chiv are both out at the moment. They're on out laps. They want a bit of clean air. I think that's the other Williams of Devereaux coming out of the pit there. Aston Martin, and you're just going to see an absolute stream of cars come out now. But I'm going to stay on board with Baz here. He's the only driver currently who's on a flying lap. Unless Vibora and Mr. Seedy have gone again, we'll keep an eye on the bottom right of your screen and see what they do. Baz using absolutely all of the track to his advantage there to try and gain as much time as possible. We can see car dipping wheels into the gravel already. Baz here absolutely flying. This looks like a tasty lap from the Williams driver so far. We'll see where he can put it. Just 2 more corners to go. He's going to get a bit of dirty wash from Chiv, using so much of the curb there. Really confident driving there. Gio is just starting his lap with Chiv now, and Baz is going to get a lovely tow from Chiv to improve to a 105.2, putting him right in between Skam and Michelanda there. Very tidy lap from Baz indeed. Chiv, I think, is going to be the next one to watch as we see more and more drivers come out. Lucullus, the other McLaren, has come out. We'll see. He is almost certainly in contention for a pole here. But as it stands, with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, it's Musty on provisional pole. It's a very good lap time from him. But I think Luke did his on the medium tyres. He did, as did Kev. So we will see those times start to tumble for sure. I could even see a 3 here as we stay on board with Chiv at the moment. I'm just having a look. Michelando has started his lap. Gio is obviously slightly ahead of Chiv here. Devereaux is also on a lap. Casper's come out, as has Skama, Tesco, Pace, Lucullus, and Kev. Musty, Chubby Slug, and Rob still in the pits. We'll see. I think Rob's actually coming out now, as is Chubby Slug. As we see Chiv round the final 2 corners. Can he keep it within the white lines? I think he's done an alright job so far. Gio did a 105.2. I'm not sure if he improved. Yes, he did improve. Chiv improves to 104.9 and will give Lucullus a very tasty tow indeed. Tesco is the one I want to watch now and see what he can do. He's also in for a shout of pole position, but obviously Lucullus is getting an absolutely glorious... Look at this tow that Lucullus is getting from his teammate. Up to 3 DRS zones. Lucullus is going to be in a really good... Oh, sorry, 2 DRS zones. Chiv gets out of the way. The McLaren driver will keep an eye on him. Having a look, who else is rounding the tail? I think Devereaux is going to round the corner here. Is Devereaux going to improve his position? It's a 105.4 still. Doesn't improve. Musty is in the pits, so he is not going to go again. Interesting. So, Musty thinks that he will not be able to improve. Michelando there start. I think Rob is going to start his lap in a minute as well. Let's have a look. That's Pace going at the moment. So, Skama, can he improve on his position? He invalidates at the end. It's P9 at best for Skama. I want to see where Lucullus is here. Can the McLaren driver put himself on provisional pole? He stays P3. The tow wasn't enough. Musty, as it stands, will stay on provisional pole. Can Tesco improve his position? He invalidates. Tesco invalidates. Big shock there. So, 2 drivers who are in with a chance of pole aren't able to do it. Kev is one to watch as well. He could be in for a chance. Chubby Slug is going at the moment. Casper, is he going to be able to improve his position? Mr. CD, and for more say, Casper improves to P13 as it stands. Pace, another driver who has looked mighty speedy so far. Pace, where's he going to cross the line? It's P5. I want to check in on Kev. How's Kev doing at the moment? Is Kev pits? Kev is in the pits. So let's have a look. Chubby Slug Rob is another one to watch now. Can Rob put himself on provisional pole? Lots of drivers taking the flag here. Chubby Slug's going around the corner behind Rob here. Can Rob improve on his position? It's pole, provisional pole, I should say, as Chubby Slug crosses the line to P5, 104. Skarma did actually get a chance to go again, but he invalidated. He must have by going too wide. At the death, Rob's Musty of a chance of his first pole position. Lucalis didn't improve. Tesco invalidated. Kev was in the pits, and it looked like all the way up to the death that Musty was going to be in for a chance of a pole position, a sprint pole, if you will. Set one lap time, Musty did. One lap time early in the session, said go on and beat that, and it was the last, one of the last drivers to cross the line that did it. Rob is on pole position for the sprint by 1600ths. Musty on the front row for his best start of the season. Kev in P3 for his best start of the season on the medium tyres. Lucalis there, 1044. I don't know if he set his second lap time on the mediums. I'm pretty sure it was on the softs, so something went wrong for Lucalis there, I think. And that medium time was his best time from the first run. So we will see. Thank you for the follow there. Much appreciated as well. Welcome in as we are in between sessions now, and we are getting lined up for the sprint race. 12 laps, no pit stops. I expect a lot of medium tyres. Yes, as we can have a look here, pretty much everyone's on the medium tyres. You might see somebody decide to go for a soft tyre. Could you join? I'll tell you what, we do have reserve spots in the league open for future races, so I'll give you a message after the stream. But we're going to go through the starting order at the moment. Rob there on pole, Musty joining him on the front row. Kev and Lucalis joining us on the second row. Chubby Slug and Pace on the third row there in 5th and 6th. Chiv in P7, Tesco in P8, Skarma in P9, Baz in P10 making up the 5th row there. Gio in the Haas in P11 with Michelando in the Aston Martin returning after an absence last week in P12. Casper on his debut in the Ferrari joins us in P13. Devereaux in the Williams in P14, Mr. CD in P15, and Vibora in P16, all on the medium tyres, I believe. If I get my thing up here just to double check. Yes, they're all on the medium tyres. So we're going to watch Rob as he goes around for our formation lap. Obviously, quite a short lap here. I'm going to just take this opportunity to have a little bit of beer. I've earned it. I've earned it. Right, just checking in on the Discord there. Make sure all the notifications are clear. Rob there. Oh, Musty hits the wall! My goodness me, I was looking at the phone there. Drivers warming up their tyres. Musty absolutely clobbered the wall there. I'm sure I saw a bit of bodywork fly off there. I think he's got his wing intact. But Musty there, getting a little bit too excited under the formation lap there. So we'll see if he has any ill effects of that. As we can see, yes, it's going to be a one-stop on the medium tyres. I can't imagine anybody is going to be doing a two-stop here unless they have any damage. So once to watch here, I think Rob is in for a very good chance of winning this. Obviously, it's really difficult to break the DRS in Austria. So really, any of the top 8 are in with a chance of winning. Really, it entirely depends on if drivers can pass or not. But we're going to see everybody line up in their pit box, excuse me, starting grid space. Your boy is not very good at speaking. I do apologize. But we see everybody line up. A bit of a lockup from the, I think that's the Haas there at the end there. Not ploughing directly into the back of the Williams driver. As we see this incredibly far away shot of the drivers here. So, well, I guess this will be our grid for the start. This will be our spot for the start of the race as the Ferrari just ekes into his position there. Get out your magnifying glasses as we watch the first 5 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are go in Austria. Rog looks like he got a very good start. There's a driver who's bogged down massively. It's Tesco there with a massive bog down. But look at Musty down the inside of T1, and Musty takes the lead. Musty says, thank you very much for taking my pole position away. I'll take position 1 back at the start of the race. Musty in the Alpine leads. That's Kev pressuring Rob there quite heavily there. Rob goes defensive down into T2 there. Lugalis might have a look up the inside of Kev, decides against it. That's Pace there, who's moved up. I tell you what, Skarma's moved up plenty of positions, up to P7 there. Baz up to P8 as well. Chubby Slug has lost loads of positions. Tesco's lost 5 positions. He bogged down massively in the middle there. Casper is up to the top there. Chubby Slug looks like he is having an absolute whale of a time at the bottom of the grid there. We'll check in on the Ferrari driver, how he is doing. Is he going to send it up the inside of the house? Not a lot of room there. Chubby Slug colliding with Gio did very well to save it. Chubby Slug has fallen down all the way down there with Tesco. Absolute disastrous start for him. Casper's had a great start. Baz, Gio, Skarma have all had really good starts as well. Chubby Slug has had an absolute mare. So we're going to go up the top of the grid. Musty leads from Rob. From Kev, from Lucalis. Lucalis very close to potentially making a move once we have a dose of DRS. Pace moved up and Chiv as well. So Pace disrupting the McLaren strategy for sure. But yes, this is that Rob? Maybe I can have a look. I think Rob's going to have a move on Musty, and Musty goes defensive down the inside. Rob goes around the outside. Which of the two got DRS, though? We'll have to see. Lucalis thought about making a move on Kev there. I think Rob got the... No, Musty got the DRS. Is Musty going to make the move? Lucalis goes side by side with Kev there. Musty stays behind Rob. Lucalis goes down the inside of Kev there. They're side by side to the middle sector. Kev is going to have the more favourable line. So... Rob still defends. Kev, Lucalis is going to go around the outside of Kev now. He is. He makes the move past. That's a brilliant move from Lucalis to go around the outside of the Mercedes driver. And Lucalis up to P3 as it stands. Right. So, drivers very close together. Skarma has managed to pull away from Baz ever so slightly, so there's a gap there. Pace, look how close he was to the back of Kev there, my goodness. So, Lucalis is going to have a great view here. Musty is now right on the back of Rob. Is he going to make a move down into T1? Musty thinks about it, decides against it. But he knows he's going to have Lucalis for company here. I think time penalties are going to be a really big deal here. I'm going to stay on board with Musty. He's a little bit away from Lucalis, but he's going to make the pass down the inside of Rob, and Musty regains the lead. Lucalis defends from Kev. Rob's actually going to stick it around the outside. They're side by side through T3. Great racing. Rob actually defends it. Brilliant defense from Rob, and Rob's going to get a lovely dose of DRS to go with it as well. So Musty's going to have to try and defend his position. Kev looks to defend from Pace. That's a swap in the background there. Gio makes the pass on Baz, as we see as we went on the onboard there. Michelando and Chubby Slug having a bit of a battle there. Baz, is he going to try and fight this one back? I tell you what, look how close. Is that Casper going down the inside of the Williams? It is great racing down the middle sector here. He leaves him enough room. They're still side by side. Baz goes around the outside of the Ferrari driver and defends the position. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely fantastic racing in the middle of the pack there. Look at the Aston Martin. No, it's the Ferrari. Down the inside of T8. That would be a brilliant place to make a move, but he has to back out of it. The Aston Martin's going to be right on the tail of that Ferrari. The Aston Martin in a hell of a Ferrari sandwich there. Checking up around the grid, Lucalis might decide to make a move on Musty here. We'll have to see. No, Musty is that much closer to Rob. Kev is that much closer. Musty and Rob are going to go side by side. Again, Musty down the inside. Rob breaks a bit later, goes around the outside. But is he going to play the same trick of getting the dose of DRS? I think he is. He is indeed. Rob is got the better racecraft over Musty at the moment. Lucalis still in the train. Is Lucalis going to make a move on Musty here? Decides against it. Kev knows there's nothing doing. Pace just sitting back here. Skarma has moved up past Chiv, excuse me. Both VCABs doing very well there. Baz and Gio are still side by side. Look at the racing here. And there's going to be some great racing behind them. Gio goes around the outside of the Williams driver. Williams driver has nothing doing there. Brilliant, brilliant racing. This has been a fantastic pack of racing to look at so far. You can see there's this big gap from first down to 7th, that is. And then 8th down to 13th. Chubby Slug and Tesco really having to, struggle to try and get any positions after their both disastrous starts. Vibora is the first of our drivers to pick up a time penalty. Now, this is the one to watch. Lucalis is getting that much closer to Musty. Musty is getting that much closer to Rob. This is going to potentially go 3 wide out of T2 here. Musty, once again, goes down the inside. Lucalis doesn't want to send it up the outside. Oh, it's been a contact. Kev and Lucalis come together there. Kev has had to fall back. Pace is up to P3. P3. So Lucalis and Kev came together. Looking at the top there, Rob looks to go around the outside. Musty's going to send it down the inside. The tiniest bit of contact. Musty doesn't want to lose it. Skarma has moved up. Kev has actually fallen all the way back down there. He's had an absolute nightmare. Is Kev carrying wing damage? He isn't, but Kev and Lucalis came together, and Kev has gone from P3 to P7, shuffled right back to the bottom of this pack. And the path just opened up for pace, didn't it? So 5 laps in, I can scarcely breathe at the moment. Casper passed Gio at some point in the back here. I'm staying on board because it's so difficult to choose who to keep on board with. Pace is that much closer. Nobody really wants to make a move down the pit straight, do they? Lucalis obviously wants to be right in contention for the battle here. Pace, who's a driver who's usually pretty good at preserving his battery, is he going to try and pick his opportunity to maybe make the pass? We're seeing this again. Devereaux and Rob go side by side. They know the game. Musty's learned the DRS game. Pace just nibbling at the heels. Has Musty managed to get the DRS? He has, but Rob has managed to pull a healthy gap. Musty didn't get a great exit. Pace is right on the back of him here. Skarma's obviously quite close to the back of Luke as well. Is he going to make a move? No. And it's as you were. Going all the way back here. Casper looks to defend from Gio. Casper moves to defend the inside. Gio, is he going to go around the outside maybe? Nothing doing there. Has to stick with it. A pass at the back of the... Devereaux! Devereaux's had an off there. Devereaux's had an off. He's going side by side with Mr. Seedy trying to recover some positions. Look at this driving here. Mr. Seedy down the inside. Is Devereaux going to stick it around the outside? He does. Devereaux defends his position around the outside. Very good driving there to recover from whatever that incident is. Oh, it's a big snap from Devereaux. He keeps it out of the wall. Oh, and his tyres are absolutely on fire. Poor Devereaux. What has happened to the Williams driver there? He's fallen behind Vibora at the moment. He did very well to keep it out of the wall. Look at Pace on the back of Musty. Look at Pace making the pass on Musty. Is Pace going to make the double overtake? He is. Pace is our new race leader. Down the inside. Made the pass on both drivers. But Rob has obviously been very good at managing the DRS. We are 3 wide going down the straight here. Pace is the one without any DRS. And he's going to be passed by Rob and Musty once again. And Lucalis. Is he going to go down the inside of pass here? He doesn't. Pace is going to stick around the outside, is he? Oh, he gets a bit of gravel. Lucalis is going to make the pass on the VCOM driver here, and he does. Lucalis is now on the podium. Pace doesn't send it up the inside, knows there's nothing doing there. Looking at the background here, these drivers have been absolutely duking it as well. Michelando's fallen ever so slightly behind. Look at Gio with a big snap on the curve. Michelando says, thank you very much. I'll go up the inside. No, Tesco goes around the outside. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong driver there. Gio defended that after a snap on the curbs. Michelando was unable to make the pass, going right up the top of the grid. Lucalis there, very close to the back of Musty, might actually make the move happen on the pit straight. He might not have a choice as Musty is desperately trying to get some battery left in. Rob has been defending this very well indeed, and we go again. Lucalis is very close to the back of Musty. Musty uses whatever battery he has. Rob is continuing the strategy. Is Musty going to learn? I think Rob might have just got the DRS. Oh, Lord knows what's happening here. Lucalis is just waiting to see what happens. Casper makes the pass on Baz at the bottom of the grid to move up to P8. Good recovery from Casper after his qualifying position, and Lucalis has to continue behind Musty here, and it's as you were. Skarma has actually made the pass on Pace. Excuse me, I missed the VCARB swapping there. Kev also made the pass on Shiv for P6 as well. So, excuse me, Pace went from P1 to P5 in just as many laps. Very, very big, unfortunate from him there. Looking way down the back there, that was Vibora and Devereaux getting into a bit of a tussle there. Vibora defends his position from the Williams driver. 4 laps to go. Oh, look at that. Vibora's gone slightly wide. Devereaux up the inside. Devereaux makes the pass for P15. These two. Vibora's not going to let this one go. It's a bit of contact. Both drivers off into the gravel, and they're both out. Vibora and Devereaux in a double DNF. What on earth happened there? A spectacular accident. The yellow flag is out. Musty goes down the ins. No, he doesn't go down the inside. Excuse me. I thought he was going to make the move. Maybe he's going to try on the switchback, but he struggles to get on power there. The yellow flag is out. Lucalis is finally looking to make the pass on Musty here. Lucalis is going to go down the inside of T4. Is he going to make the move happen? Musty's going to try and fight this one all the way, but there's not a lot he can do. Skarma looks like he might try and stick up the inside, but Lucalis has made the pass for P 2. Yellow flags, no safety car though, so big accident there. Lucullus is up to P2 and will now be the one to try and put the pressure on Rob. Musty will look to defend his position for a potential podium here. It's a big snap. Skarma could be moving up into the podium positions as it stands. Kev, very close, not really a lot of places to make a move here. Casper is going to have to defend from Mika Lando, so we'll keep an eye on that battle as Mr. CD overtook Baz. I think Baz, look at that actually, Baz actually fell a few positions back, as did Tesco. So something's happened there. Tesco's also been putting about 3-second time penalty. Good measure. Look at Kev down the inside of Pace. What a move that is. Brilliant move into T1, but is he going to lose it straight away from Pace? Looking to go back at him. I'm going to go on board with Pace as he uses his dose of DRS to make the move back. It was a good move. Skarma goes to look to go. Is he going to go down the inside of Musty? He is. Skarma is up to the podium positions. Lucullus up to P2, Skarma up to P3. What a drive from the VCOM driver there. Musty, has he cooked his tires? Goes down the inside of Skarma. Nothing going down. Pace is round. Pace is round and has lost his wing. And Pace, who was driving brilliantly, is around. Musty has gone down to P5 with a Hail Mary on Skarma that just was never on. And it's taken Pace out for good measure. Look how cooked his tires is. You can see the snap from Musty as he goes around middle sector. And look at that, Skarma up to P3. What a drive from him. Kev recovered up to P4 after his incident as well. And I'm sure it's going to be a very busy steward's room there. Casper, in the meantime, was passed by both Chubby and Mika Lando, so not sure what happened there. Pace picks up a time penalty for good measure. He, at the moment, is in the final point scoring positions. So, Chiv makes the pass on Musty down here. Musty's tires are completely cooked. And Skarma, look at this, Skarma is going to have to defend. Lucullus makes the pass on Rob. So, in all of this chaos, Kev has moved up to the podium positions from Skarma, and Lucullus has made a pass for the lead. So, brilliant move from him, but Rob is going to be right back at him. Rob is actually going to go down the inside of T4. Lucullus lets him go because he knows that there's one lap left as it stands. These two are side by side through Sector 2. No, Lucullus, I think, lets him go. Kev made the pass on Skarma, but it's actually fallen out of the DRS. So these two are in for the chance of the win. And then it's going to be between Kev, Skarma, Chiv, and Musty for whoever finishes on the final step of the podium. Big drama, but this is the one to watch. Is Rob going to be able to defend his position from Lucullus? Lucullus, let him go, knows that all he needs to do is make one more pass. We're on the final lap, and we'll see. Kev is actually back in DRS, so he's going to have a bit of DRS to defend. Lucullus goes a bit wide. Lucullus is very close to the back of Rob. Rob is happily going to let this one go. Lucullus makes the pass for the lead, but Rob is going to go right back at him on this straight. Kev maintains his position in P3. Rob goes a bit wide. Rob was a bit wide, and I think he's got a big, tall order to try and defend this position. He just was a bit hesitant on throttle. He's using whatever battery he has. There's not a lot he can do. Lucullus will take that position, and Lucullus will surely see this one through. Pace makes the pass on Mika Lando with the background for P9 to recover as much as he can. They're fighting with the Ferraris there, but I'm going to have to go on board with Lucullus here, who timed his strategy to absolute perfection in terms of his overtakes. Lucullus played with his battery as he needed, made the overtakes when he did. Lucullus rounds the final two corners, does not get an invalidation for good measure, and Lucullus wins the sprint here in Austria. Rob will come home P2, Kev on the podium for the first time here in P3, Skarma up to P4, excuse me, Chiv to P5, Musty to P6, Chubby Slug to P7, excuse me, Mika Lando up to P7, Casper up to P8, great drive from here, Pace to P9, Chubby Slug and P10 in the final points scoring positions. We'll check in. Mr. CD crosses the line. Baz and Tesco rounds us out for the final non-point scoring places. But my goodness, oh my throat, excuse me, I've still got the lurg, see. Brilliant race that. Lucullus absolutely did that absolutely perfectly. Massive plaudits to Lucullus there. He's back on the top step. My driver of the day, though, I have to agree with the game. Skarma going from P9 to P4 nearly got a podium for good measure as well before he was overtaken by Kev. Very well done to him, but also plaudits to both Michelando and Casper as well. Very, very, very good recovery drives. Michelando kept it clean, which helped him gain a lot of positions. Casper from P13 to P8, very good as well. Got to the top of that train at some point as well. But yes, fair play to Lucalis. Skarm was our driver of the day. And plaudits to Kev, who I believe is on his first official podium of the season. I know it's a sprint and not a race, but, you know. Oh, God. My I'm still definitely got the lurg, boys. That was absolutely chaotic, and we go straight into the qualifying. No rest for the wicked whatsoever. So an 18-minute session there for the drivers set that time. It's exactly the same as the first qualifying. The final grid will be the starting grid order for the race. I expect drivers to probably run the actually with the sprint tire allocation, I expect probably only 2 runs. I think a couple of drivers will only do 2 runs here on the medium and on the soft, and maybe save a pair of soft. I'm not sure. See if the soft is a viable race tire in Austria. It seems like it could be. The key thing is rain. As I say in all these streams, I don't know the weather forecast. I don't know it by nature, and the only way I can tell is when I see it in the clouds, or I can make a judgment call. The same as you would be watching at home. Now, the drivers know the weather forecast for all the sessions, so their tyre allocation could maybe give us a hint on what they're going to use in the race. We'll see if the first driver is out there. Let's see if that's Musty or Mr. Seedy. We always like to watch the first drive go around. It's Mr. Seedy. So, our Alpine driver, I think he finished P11 there. So Mr. Seedy was just ever so slightly away from points, 1 position away from points, unfortunately for him. Points on down to 10th in the sprint. But a good recovery from Mr. Seedy as well. I neglected to comment on Mr. Seedy when we talked about drivers with recovery drives. Yeah, it was P15 up to P11, so good drive from him. Kept it clean, and I think he finished... Yeah, so Vibora and Devereaux got knocked out, and then Tesco and Baz had an issue at some point. Gio also retired at the end, so Gio will still be classified, but obviously won't score any points. But as I always do, Kev looks to make the pass on Mr. Seedy, but we went on board with Kev in the last sprint, so we're going to go on board with Mr. Seedy. In fact, with Mr. Seedy, I'm going to let you hear the Alpine engine sing. Now I'm going to shut up for a bit. And Mr. Seedy will cross the lines. It's a 105.5 on the soft tyre. A couple drivers on the mediums. Kev there ahead in a 104.8. So well done to him. Tesco with a 105.1 on the mediums as well. Baz is invalidated. Let's see who else is out at the moment. Vibora is going to cross the line here. We'll see what the Haas driver can set. He does a 106.9. So let's have a look who else. Speaker Lando has invalidated. He is going to stay out. I'm having a look who else is going at the moment. Skarm is currently out on a lap. We'll watch how he goes. Devereaux does a 105.4 in the Williams there. Just missed that. Puts him just above the Alpine there. So a reminder, we're points down to 15th place here. So one driver, presuming all drivers finish, will not score points. So expect to it'd be interesting to see how drivers get. Obviously, if one person retires, then hey presto, everybody scores points. As long as they also finish, of course. We'll check on how Skarma's doing. Musty is also on a lap just in the background there. I think that's Mr. Cedar coming to the pits. Chubby Slug is also on a lap as well. So we'll check in and see how he's doing as well. So Skarma's used all of his deployment as he rounds the final couple of corners. Where can the V car put his car? It's P1, 1046. Strong time from Skarma on the soft tyres. So we will see how competitive it is as we get later on. Quickest of the soft tire runners at the moment. Chubby Slug obviously is running around. We'll see where he puts it. Both Mercs hiding their pace a little bit on the medium tires, so we'll see them go up there for sure. Chubby Slug does a 104.6 as well. Musty is the does a 104.7. Musty does. I'm on with Baz crosses the line. Does a 105.5. Right up there with Mr. Cedar. Mr. Cedar and a Williams sandwich for sure. The Mercs are still going around. Just getting some lap times out. Gio is out at the moment. He's going to be the one to watch. We'll go on board, actually, with Gio as he does his run. We'll run through a little bit of a lap commentary as well as we go up to T1. You can use a lot of the curb on the left-hand side here. Brake at 50. You can clip the yellow curb there, not clip it too much. If you touch the sausage curb on the outside, you'll invalidate as well. That's T1. T2 is this corner here, which isn't really a corner, and then you've got T3, slowest corner of the circuit. Brake at 75 meters. Turn in a little bit early. Cut not that much. Gio with the invalidation. I was going to say, you can cut a lot there and get a good exit to slingshot out, but unfortunately, Gio invalidates. So if he is fueled up, he will have to go again. Tesco there did improve his medium times to 104.7. So Michelando will go on board. We'll see if we can do a lap run through with Michelando as well. A couple of other drivers still just going around or getting ready to go into the pits. A couple of drivers still in the pits. So Rob, Casper, Pace, Lucas, Chiv, all still at separate representative time. But we'll go on board with Michelando. As we said, you use a lot of the curb on the left-hand side here. Brake at about 60 meters. You can clip a lot there, as Michelando did. Sausage curb can upset the car for certain. DRS open. You use whatever battery you have here as you set yourself up for T3. Now, as we said, you brake at 75 meters here. You can cut a lot of this curb to just get the car settled up and get on throttle as soon as you can. DRS open. You kind of drive in the middle of the track a little bit here before letting the car ever so slightly move its way over to the left-hand side. This is an understeery corner, so you want to brake a little bit early at 75 meters than you want to. The curb can rotate the car. Don't wash too wide because it'll suck you onto the gravel. Sector 2 here is the trickiest bit here. You brake at 50 meters here. Actually, even later, that's a downshift for Michelando, so very aggressive downforce on him there. You see him move out to the right here to swing it into the left to carry as much speed as possible without invalidating. So interesting technique from Michelando there. The final two corners here, this is just a downshift, I think. A slight lift. Again, the curb can rotate the car, but it's very unsettled. Very easy to invalidate on the inside and the outside of the final corner. Wash all the way wide. Open your DRS. Michelando is a 105 almost exactly. So 105.002 from Michelando. Having a look, Viboro's out, Kev is out on the softs, so that is one to watch. What can Viboro do there? Casper's out on the mediums to set his banker. Lucas and Chiv are out as well. Gio's going to cross the line on his mediums in just a moment. Oh, Gio invalidated again, so he's having to go again, still yet to set a representative time. Casper will be the next one to watch. He's out on the mediums at the moment. The Ferrari driver wants to set a banker lap. Like we said, qualified maybe a bit low down than he intended in sprint and then recovered very well indeed. So good start to the league for Casper. Reminder, this is his first race with us. So we'll see how he can navigate the qualifying on those medium tyres. Viboro's out on a lap at the moment. I said Kev is one to watch as well as Lucas and Chiv have both started their lap. So we'll see where Lucas can put himself on the soft tyre. So Casper navigates the hairpin very well. Probably the most popular overtaking opportunity. I expect the race to be very similar to the sprint in that you're going to see drivers swapping positions quite a lot, playing DRS check-in a little bit, you know, playing games with the battery a little bit, and it's really going to be the last few laps that actually matter for, you know, like where the finishing position is going to be. But we did see a lot of penalties. I think time penalties could very much dictate this race. Devereaux up to a, sorry, it was like Gio did a 105.6 on the medium tires. Decent time compared to the softs random, so we'll see what he can do. But Casper is our only other medium tire runner out at the moment, so we'll see where he puts it as he rounds the final two corners. Very neat and tidy from our Ferrari driver, puts it a 105.6, same as Gio. Lucalis, the next one to watch. I'm going to go on board here. Can Lucalis put himself on provisional pole with 8 minutes left to go? Chubby Sock puts himself... Lucalis goes on provisional pole with the 104.6. Excuse me, it was Chiv that did a 104.8 there. So, good time from Chiv. Lucalis on provisional pole. As it stands, Kev goes up to provisional pole. Excuse me, I was trying to find Kev in the display. Tesco is the next one to cross the line. Tesco's going to start his lap now. I want to see what Tesco can do. So Kev improves on Lucalis this time by 0.2 of a second. Kev there with a brilliant run there. So Tesco is also one to watch as well. His teammate giving him a lovely tow there as well. So we'll see what the Mercedes driver can do. He was on pole position in the last race. So what can he do? Rob is out at the moment. Having a look. Everybody else has set a time. Yes, so Tesco is the one to watch here that we're on board with. I'm curious to see if he can beat his teammate's time up at provisional pole with half the session, over half the session gone, excuse me. So Casper and Gio are still yet to set laps on the soft tyres, one to watch. Vibora there improved to a 106.1. So Vibora improving as it stands. Tesco I think he was touching the gravel there. Look how wide he went on that corner there. Very, very confident in his car. Tesco has been a man possessed in qualifying the last couple of races. I think he was P3, P2, P1. But where can he put it? Oh, it's a big snap there. Does he get validated? He doesn't. He might have lost a bit of time. Tesco puts it P2. 104.48. That's a 10th off of his teammate, and very well that could have been in that moment there. So what can he do? Rob is one to watch as well. Our sprint pole position for Rob right at the death there. Pace has also come out as well to set his first lap. Rob clambering all of the curb there, but keeping it legal. So we'll see what he can do. Couple drivers there in the pits looking to set their fresh tyres. Tesco, I don't know if he's going again. I don't know if he's got the fuel to go again or if he's just trying to get back in time. Pace keeping well out of the way. Mr. CD goes into the pits. He's still on a 105.5. So a good lap for Mr. CD. Puts him right in between the Williams drivers. So we can see how they get on. But we're staying on board with Rob at the moment. Rob has shown he can be right up there. Currently winning the championship by, oh God, 30-odd points, I think, off the top of my head. Not that I know straight away, so we'll see. It's a purple Sector 2 from Rob. He is throwing his Aston Martin around. So Tesco goes in, yeah, he does go into the pits, so we'll expect to see him go again. It's Kev on provisional pole as it stands. Can Rob displace him as we see him dump whatever battery he has left? It's a 104.4. Not quite. Still a 10th away from Kev. Could Kev be on pole for the very first time? We are going to go on board with Pace here. Pace had an incident with Musty in the sprint that knocked him right down. He recovered up to P9, I think it was in the end. It might have been different with time penalties. I can't remember. So we'll see if he can get himself into a decent qualifying position to maybe not have a repeat in the race. Now, my little doohickey at the bottom right there says that he has just set a purple Sector 1. If that is the case, I am really interested to see where Pace can put his car. Devereaux, Gio, and Vibora. Devereaux got in the way there. So I was looking at the side thing. I think Devereaux, was that Devereaux or was that Baz? No, Baz is in the pits. The Williams getting in the way there has surely disrupted Pace's lap time. Oh, he can't catch a break today, can he? Poor Pace. Won the sprint in Portugal. Was in for a shine at the podium here in Austria. Fancies himself, I think he's actually second in the Drivers' Championship at the moment. Still looking for that first win. So will it be today? A good qualifying position would put him right up there. Pace, look how close he is playing with the white lines. Love that Pace. Puts a P7 though. 104.7. Did that moment with the Williams disrupt him? He's got time. He's got time to pit in and fuel up, put some fresh softs on, and go again. Devereaux is actually starting his lap now. So he was on an out lap. Gio is also... I'm going to check in and see how Gio is doing. Gio currently flying at the moment. I don't think this purple sector is accurate if everybody seems to be saying sector times. Vibora is also starting his lap time. See how he does. Casper, obviously, and still yet to go on the soft tyres. This is Gio's first run on the soft tyres as well. Kev is also going to start his lap, so we'll see if he can improve at all. Mr. CD has started his lap. We'll check in with Devereaux in a few minutes as well. But yeah, Kev is going to start his lap, see if he can improve his position at all. So yeah, Pace will be hurling his way into the pits to try and go out at the very end. But Gio is going to round the final 2 corners here. Can Gio set a time that puts him in a better qualifying position? He's P14 at the moment. He's going to cross the line to P11, 105.50, very close to Michelando there. So he might have time to go out again. We'll have to see. Devereaux, let's see if he can improve on his time. P12 at the moment. The Williams driver uses whatever he has left, and he stays at P12. Wasn't able to improve. Mr. CD has invalidated ahead of us. Vibora has also invalidated ahead of us. Who else is out on a lap at the moment? Kev. Let's see if he can improve his time at all. So I don't know what his sector times look like, but this is going to be, might be his last run. I'm not sure. He might have time to go around again. We'll see. Look at it. Throws the car in just a downshow. I don't even think he lifted off the throttle there. So can Kev? He's on provisional pole as it stands. Can he improve his time? He does. It's a 104.29 from Kev. Absolutely scintillating time. And Kev is on provisional pole. But there are drivers who will go again, and look at them streaming out of the pits in the bottom of your picture. Everybody is going to be having a go to displace the Mercedes driver. I think he's run his last. I think he's not going to be able to go again. You see him in the background of your picture, keeping out of the way. So he set down his benchmark. Is anybody going to be able to beat it? Luca Skama and Chubby Sog are all on their outlaps at the moment. I'm on board with Baz at the moment, who's also out on his outlap to see if he can improve at all. Vibora is rounding the final 2 corners, so we'll see if he improves his time as more drivers stream out of the pits. So look at the bottom of your screen. Is Vibora able to improve? He improves to 105.9, but still not enough to displace Casper, who's out on the soft tyres. Still a few tenths away from Baz, who's obviously going to round his corner now. Mr. CD still in the pits, and it is going to be absolutely chaotic as we see drivers go around at the moment. Baz with the final 2 corners, and he's invalidated. Baz will start P14 at best. Heartbreak for Baz there. He invalidated on the last corner. It's so easy to do. So Baz will start P14 at best. He will not have enough time to go out. Skama and Chubby Slug have started their laps, but I am going on board with Lucullus, who I think is in for a potential favourite for pole position. Kev has set his his benchmark. Tesco is obviously on his outlap at the moment. He is just setting up in the final sector, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. I think that might be Kev actually going into the pits. So we'll see, unless as Kev is waiting to give his teammate a tow. That would be very spicy indeed, wouldn't it? So I think Rob is also, Rob is also out, but we're staying on board with Lucullus. I'm on the T-cam, so you can hear the McLaren sing, and almost all the drivers are out at the moment. Devereaux and Mr. CD are in the pits. They're not going to have a chance to go out again. That's that. Baz, I think, is still going around. Vibora will start P16 at best. He's retired. Casper is also going around, so we'll check in on those lap times. Tesco's the one I want to watch for sure after Lucullus, but we can see Lucullus go to the middle sector now. Rob, obviously, within a shout of pole position as well. Skama is rounding the final 2 corners at the moment. Is Skama going to be able to start? Musty, who is obviously on P2, he could be within a chance. Skama goes up to P4, 104.5, so that's his best time. Lucullus, I think he just had a moment in the penultimate corner there. I was looking at the timing screen. Is Lucullus going to be able? He's invalidated! It's P5 at best for Lucullus. On the last corner, he's washed wide and invalidated. So Tesco, the next one to watch, potentially in for a shout of pole position, or will it be Kev for his very first pole? Kev, I think you can see in the background, gave Tesco a lovely tow as well, which will certainly help. Rob has crossed the line in time to start his lap. Michelando that'll be crossing the line now. Does he improve on his time? Michelando improves to P9, 104.8, but Chiv will also be out at the moment. I'm staying on board with the Mercedes driver. He was on pole last week. The flag is out. Chiv goes P6, 104.69 from him. Tesco invalidates at the death. Oh, the final corner for Tesco. Heartbreak, just like it was in the sprint. So can Rob, for the second qualifying this session, go around And potentially just, I tell you what, Lucullus is actually still out. No, Lucullus is, no, he's validated, of course he has. So he can't go. So Rob is the one to watch. Musty starts P9. It's a 104.7 for him. Chubby Slug in P7 with 104.6 as well. Pace is also behind Rob, so we'll check it on him. Michelando is going at the moment. Gio is also out, and Casper is also out, so we'll check in on them. But can Rob disrupt Kev from pole? It's Rob on pole position for the second session in a row. Casper at the end there has actually invalidated, unfortunately for him. Gio takes the flag in P5. Michelando, I don't know if he's out on a lap. No, Michelando is out of fuel and boxes. And for the second session, this race, Rob at the very end has ripped away the chance for somebody to have their inaugural pole. He's truly the villain of Austria for both Musty and for Kev, but Kev gets a career best P2 qualifying in a race as well. Tesco obviously invalidated at the very end, and Lucullus as well. Oh, track limits are going to play havoc this race. Rob there, so he is on pole position by the 10th of a second, but I tell you what, he has got an absolute Mercedes sandwich to deal with. Is somebody going to send it on him at the start? We'll have to see. Skarma there starts P4 as well. Lucullus P5, Chiv P6, Chubby Slug P7, Pace P8, wasn't able to improve. Musty P9, Michelando there in P10. That's your top 10. Gio, Devereaux, Baz, Mr. CD, Casper, and Vibora. Casper was unable to set a lap time on the soft, so he has got it all to do again. Oh, and breathe. I love qualifying. Oh, goodness. It brings such a smile to my face. Just checking my notifications. There you go. Get rid of that. Looks like a clear race indeed. If rain is on the horizon, then I will not be able to know. So everybody starts in the medium. I expect it to be a medium hard. I think that's going to be the strat here. It's a kind of a deceptively long pit lane in Austria. I don't know, actually. You might be able to two-stop in Austria. You might be able to. I don't really know. But, you know, we'll have to see. A couple drivers switching to the hards at the moment. Oh, excuse my gas. I'm going to have a bit more beer. A bit more life nectar. I tell you what, man. The Italians know how to make a beer. They do. The Italians, the Japanese, and the Spanish make a damn good beer. I know the Germans. I know for their beer. I'm not really a German beer fan. I like a really nice light lager. Ooh. Bosch, welcome in. Sprint was run by Rob. No, of course it wasn't. It was Lucullus, excuse me. Rob on pole, Lucullus won the sprint. So it was Lucullus, Rob, Kev was your podium for the sprint. And this is your starting grid, as you see. Rob here on pole position. Kev was provisional pole right to the very death there. Rob ripped it away. So Rob there starts on the hards. We've talked about how powerful the DRS and the battery is in this game as well. And you saw it in the sprint. For those of you who were here for the sprint, there were sort of drivers going, or it was almost like your position didn't matter. Everybody was just swapping positions all the time. It was only really in the last like 5 or so laps that it was all hectic, and I expect it to be very similar here. If it makes you feel better, Bosch, I'm also unwell myself still. I'm recovering from whatever lurgy every single fucker in this country seems to have. And my partner was very sick earlier this week, but she's on the recovery now as well, which is good. It's been a long week. Right, we get ready for the formation lap as we roll around again. Both Mercedes there in second and third place. So Musty made a move on the inside of Rob on turn 1. And those two had a bit of a titanic battle, didn't they? Until Musty cooked his tyres and then had that incident with Skarma, I think it was. And will Kev do the same thing? We'll have to see. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. Tesco, we saw bog down massively on the start, didn't he? He had a massive, massive bog down start, lost loads of positions. So he can't do that again. Tesco is one of our few drivers who run no TC. There's a handful of drivers with us who don't run any traction control. So those starts are so critical. They're arguably easier on no traction control, but obviously it's so easy to sort of snap down quickly and you just light up the rear tires, and you just don't really go anywhere. So we'll see if he has managed to perfect his starts. So Skarma was my driver of the day in the sprint. Starts P4, which I think is where he finished, actually, in the sprint after recovering from P9 or something like that, after an invalidation. So can he do one better? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Before I go, I'll have just a quick check on the tyres. Mediums all the way down to Chubby Slug on the hards. A lot of disqualifications there. I missed what happened. But yes, medium and hards, as you can see, except for Casper on the softs, looking to make some big moves. So I don't know what happened at the start there. I must have missed it at the back. Maybe there was some sort of coming together. So not sure what happened there. But the one to watch is here in teeny weeny whiny vision. We get the start of the race. So, yes, right at the top of your picture, Rob there on the left-hand side, Kev, and then Tesco, the Mercedes behind Rob. So we'll see if he's managed to perfect his start. The green flag is flying. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are go for the race in Austria. And look at that, drivers all over the place getting a turgid start. Like a Tesco, he's bogged down again. So Rob defends his position from T1 there, but Tesco's been passed by how many drivers is that there? He's had an absolute nightmare. No, that was Kev. That was Kev, excuse me. I got the Mercedes mixed up. There, Kev has gone all the way down there to P6 from P2. Skarma moves up. Lucalis is up into P4 as well. Kev there fighting with Chiv. Chubby Slug up to P7 as well. Musty has made moves all the way up there. Pace is down to P11. Vibora's up to P13 as well. So look at the, yeah, so you can see the positions here. Skarma, Tesco, and Rob and Lucalis very close together indeed. So we'll have to see what happened there. Casper and Pace fighting in the background there. I kind of want to see what's going on there because Casper obviously is on the soft tires. He has actually made the move on Pace, going down into the middle sector there. So yeah, Devereaux and Baz fell back. Pace fell back. Casper and Vibora made some moves up. So well done to them. Excuse me, I just bumped the microphone there. Lucalis there, very close to the back of Skarma. Lucalis following very closely here. And the DRS train begins. Is Tesco going to make a move very early on? We're probably going to see a lot of moves happening. Lucalis is actually making you look at... no, he's not going to look down the inside of Skarma. I don't think a lot of moves are going to happen in the pit straight because of how long this straight is directly afterwards. Tesco right on the back of Rob here. Skarma on the back of them. Lucalis, is he going to be close enough to make a move? I don't think he is, but Tesco is going to go down the inside of T3 and makes the pass on Rob. Block passes him as well. Rob is going to get a dose of DRS as Tesco is hesitant on the throttle and has to back out of it. Rob repasses. He's made that move so many times. Skarma, is he going to look down the inside of Tesco here for P2? Skarma hard on the brakes. Tesco, is he going to go around the outside? They're still going. I'm going to go to broadcast cam here. Tesco, is he going to get the more favorable line into the middle sector? I think he is. Skarma's going to try and stick it around the outside, but no, Tesco defends well. So Rob retains his position. Tesco still in P2. We go all over again. Chubby Slug and Musty. Look how Musty's got a bit wide there. So Musty's lost a few positions there. Puts him under pressure from Mika Lando, I think. No, that's Chubby Slug going into the pits. So Chubby Slug into the pit. No, he wasn't in the pits. Excuse me. I thought he was signaling to go into the pits. So Chubby Slug just went a bit wide there. So I'm going to go right to the top of my screen here and see Skarma looks to go defensive. I'm going to go to broadcast cam here. Is Tesco going to try and make the move happen again? He was just a bit hesitant on throttle coming out of it as well. Lucalis is going to go around the outside of Skarma. Is he? Is he going to take the outside line to maybe have a run up here? Skarma, is he going to go down the inside of Tesco? No, he doesn't. He has to defend from Lucalis. Tesco does not make the move on Rob, but is he going to try and make a move down into T4? But look at the background there. Lucalis is very close to the back of Kev. Look at that. Kev going down the outside of Lucalis. A tiny bit of contact. Lucalis is going to defend around the outside. Rob defends the lead at the top there. Kev is going to stick it around the outside. No, Lucalis just has the ever so slightly edge over Kev there. And they go again. It's as you were. Tesco biting at the heels of Rob there. Rob defended excellently. Oh, big stab from Tesco. Puts him under pressure from Skarma potentially. No, I think Tesco managed to recover it, but got all over the curbs. Look at this. The rear tires already complaining of the Mercedes car there. Look at the snap. He's really struggling to keep that car pointing in one direction. Is he going to have an accident? We'll have to see. Lucalis thought about the move on Skarma, backs out of it. Knows you can't make the move down the inside there. Michelangelo was still behind Casper there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Musty, Geo are right back on this train. In fact, this train goes all the way down to P14. Vabora's been pushed back a little bit. He'll be under pressure from Baz as well. Tesco does make the move on Rob at the top of your screen there. A little bit of contacts. Skarma is going to have a go at both of them there. Tesco defends his position. Rob is right on the back of them there. Rob is going to go around the outside of Tesco. Is Tesco going to defend the inside? He lets him have it. Knows that he's there to fight another day. And Rob has been playing the same game, hasn't he? He knows what he needs to do. Geo is all over the back of Chiv there. I'm going to go on board and check the tyres here. Yeah, all medium tyres down to Chubby Slug. Will be right. You can see him in the bottom picture there as Musty is right on the back of Chiv as well. Casper on the soft tyres, which will start to have died a little bit now. Will start to fall back a bit. Lucalis looking side by side with Skarma. Lucalis goes down the inside of Skarma at the penultimate corner. That's an amazing place to make an overtake, but he makes it work. Lucalis up to P3. Didn't want to stay behind Skarma any longer. Lucalis now biding his time. We saw him play his game very well in the sprint to make sure that he was in the right place to make an overtake in the last lap. Tesco there is going to go. Luke's going to go down the inside of Rob. Is he here? Rob moves all the way over. Lucalis down the inside. They're almost 4 abreast. Skarma going down the inside. They're 3 wide. Big collide there. Lucalis will go off into the sunset. Excuse me, I missed that. But Rob will defend there. Tesco is still side by side with Skarma. My goodness. So Skarma's going to defend the inside here. Rob doesn't move down the inside of Lucalis. Tesco goes around the outside. Does he? No. Skarma defends the position. So Lucalis went past all of them. They were 3 abreast through that corner, and 3 abreast will never go. So Lucalis just said, thank you very much. I'll make the move. But now they all recharge their battery, don't they, and go again. Chubby Slug there having a bit of an incident with Musty, I think it is. But Musty will make the pass on... Sorry, Pace has actually made the pass on Chubby Slug. I think Chubby Slug may have gone wide. I'm not sure. Pace there in P9, a little bit a ways. So we'll see how that goes at the top there. Lucalis trying to break the DRS, but no giving there. Kev very close to the back of Skarma. Kev going down the inside of Skarma into T1. He tried this move before. He's taken a lot of curve there, which is going to put him on the defensive. But he's still going side by side. A little bit of contact as well. Is Skarma going to be able to defend this? Kev has still got the inside line. Kev is going to have the more favourable line. And Kev makes the pass on Skarma for P4. Both Mercedes back together to fight against Rob and Lucalis. Rob and Lucalis both very good at defending their positions. So I'm curious to see where that will go. Skarma knows there's nothing giving there. Geo and Chiv still fighting. Pace is on the back of Musty as well, with Chubby Slug and Michelangelo at the back of that train. Casper's softs are starting to die now. In fact, I think Casper might have just had a moment or so, did he? I think he's fallen behind Devereaux and Mr. Seedy, that was. So his softs are just starting to give up now. I expect to see the Ferrari driver in very soon. So Tesco down to P3, biding his time. Rob knows that he has to pick his moment for the overtake. You see drivers snapping already. Rears are not cooperating. A couple drivers picking up time penalties as it stands. So Lucalis leads Rob, leads Tesco, leads Kev. Where am I? I'm here. Yes, that's right. So Musty is the next driver to pick up some time penalties as well. Rob just sticking behind at the moment. Chiv looks like he's made the pass on Geo in the background there. He has, down the inside of the... No, the Haas driver's going to fight this, actually. Stick all the way around the outside. Clambers a lot of curb for good measure. They're going to go side by side down the straight here. Geo using his battery. Is he going to be able to defend this position? Sticks it in the middle of the track, and Chiv knows there's nothing he can do. Rob, in the at the top of the picture, made the move down on Lucalis, down into T4. So Rob is back in the lead as it stands. But obviously we know how quickly this can change. Both Mercedes drivers are absolutely glued to the back of this battle. But Skarma Geo up to P6 is a good recovery from P. I think it was 11 from him there. So Musty is on the back of this as well. Pace as well could be very close to making a move. I'm just going to stick on board with Tesco here. As you can see, these drivers, they're going to start absolutely scrubbing their tyres. It's going to be interesting to see how drivers deal with time penalties. Are any of these drivers going to get a 3-second time penalty and really disrupt it? At the bottom of your picture, Casper there has fallen back. He's pitted, excuse me. He went on from the softs onto the mediums. I missed it. At the top of your picture, though, look at that. Lucalis makes the pass on Rob, and the lead changes again. So Rob lets him go, knows that he will do the exact same thing to him here. He'll stamp on the throttle, get the DRS open, And looking at the bottom of your picture there, there's a lot of movement going on here. Pace made the pass, so Musty's still defending there. Rob did not make the move on Lucalis there, and Pace defends from Musty very well. Musty will look for the cutback on Pace. Is nothing happening there. Pace will defend his way through. Lucalis there did defend his position. I'm just having a look. Yeah, so Chubby Slug just having a look at the inside of Musty there, didn't he? So, Rob has defended it. Lucalis has defended his position from Rob. I'm going to struggle to keep up with this now. And both Mercedes are just sticking behind at the moment. I wonder if they'll go for the... Undercuts aren't that powerful here, obviously, because of how powerful the DRS is. But Lucalis, look how wide he washes there. So we'll stay aboard with Rob here and see what they do. One of these top 4 drivers, top 5 drivers even, 6, 7, it's one of these drivers a contention for the lead. Look at them as they all snake down. It's an absolute train of drivers. My goodness me. I love seeing that as well. That's it all the way down to P11. That's insane straight run of drivers there. One of them will get a penalty. Chubby Slug makes a move on Musty in the background. I'm just keeping on board. Is Rob going to make a move on the inside of Lucalis? He does indeed, and these two swap again. It continues. Kev is actually having to go massively defensive there from, was that Skarma, who maybe had a look at the inside. Kev has just fallen ever slightly away from his teammate. You can see how bunched up these drivers are here. If I go with Chivs on board, you can see how close they are. But there's about a 1/10.5 separating 3 drivers. That's Skarma, Geo, and was that Pace? Yeah, Pace looks going around the outside. That's him side by side with the Haas there. That's Pace, sorry, Skarma, excuse me. Kev looks like he's going to try and not lose the DRS. That would be a big... be a big problem for him if he does. Look at that Geo going really wide there, avoids the invalidation. But yeah, this is the battle at the top at the moment. Lucalis and Rob are absolutely flying at the moment, but they've got to deal with this trade. So if one of them picks up a time penalty, they're in a lot of trouble. Tesco is actually very close to making a move on Lucalis. He goes around the outside of the McLaren driver. Doesn't make a move on Rob, defends his position. Tesco is up to P2. Gio does make the pass on Chiv in the end. Chiv looks like he's going side by side with Pace. There is Pace going to make a move on the McLaren driver here. So Gio in there, P6, fighting with Chiv. Pace is just getting that little bit of extra legs on the McLaren driver. Will have the more favourable line down the inside. And Pace is up to P7. Chiv stops fighting that one. You can see it in the mirror there. Baz and Mr. CD trading positions on the DRS straight in the background there. Tesco up to P2 as it stands. So Lucalis was in the lead, now down to P2. Rob is still defending his position. Tesco waited to pick his opportunity. Chiv is the first of our drivers. Well, I say the first of our drivers, excuse me. Another driver to pick a 3-second time penalty up as he'll be fighting with Pace. Tesco is very close to the back of Rob here. He couldn't just decide to make a move. He's not going to make a move on the pit straight, is he? I don't think he is. He's very close. He's very close. Rob goes defensive. And there's a little bit of contact as there's a bit of movement from Rob there. But Michelando makes the move on Musty in the background. Tesco sits behind Rob there. Knows he's got to defend from Lucalis. I tell you what, Kev is potentially very close to making a move on Lucalis. Tesco goes down the inside of Rob. It's a late move from the Mercedes driver. They give each other enough room. But was Tesco the one to get the DRS? He gets on throttle. He does get DRS. Is Tesco going to be able to make the move here? We're going to stick on board with him. He's going to go around the outside of Rob. And Tesco is going to take the lead. So Tesco is now a new race leader. Gio is fighting there with Pass. Look at that, they're on the grass! Was that Skarma? Was that Skarma? There was a big moment there. I don't know who that was. Skarma got collected by somebody. Pace is also around. Pace is in the gravel. Big moment. Both V-Carps here, who were comfortably in the points, have been absolutely shoveled back. Skarma's down to P9 after going into the wall. Pace was in the gravel. What happened? What happened? I would love to see. Skarma doesn't have wing damage. A driver going into the pits there. That's Chiv going into the pits. So big drama there. Skarma's got a lot of work to do. Pace as well. Oh, Pace has just had an absolutely rotten couple of races, hasn't he? My goodness me. So going back at the top of the grid, Tesco is still defending from Rob. Kev has fallen out of the DRS. Kev is actually under pressure from Chubby Slug on the hard tyres. Chubby Slug down the inside of Kev, and the hard tyres are potentially starting to come alive. Mr. Seedy was also in the pits. He's put on the hard tyres. Casper has overtaken him. He's obviously running those mediums. He'll probably have to pit again. Rob has made the move on Tesco down into T3 there. Obviously, we expect them to trade a couple more times as well. Really, the order of these 3 drivers is not going to matter until we get to the last couple of laps. Skarma is recovering as much as he can. He's right on the back. He's in a sandwich actually there No, he's not. He's behind Michelangelo. He's behind Musty, excuse me. So we'll see how that gets on. Pace obviously has to drive around as well. Look at that. Michelangelo. Is he going to go down the inside of Musty there? My goodness me. I thought that was going to be a crazy move from Michelangelo. But Musty with a big snap there. Lucullus is the first of the front runners to pits. So Lucullus is in the pits. Musty is all over the curb. So he's having a nightmare. Skarma's into the pits. So he is in. He's decided that he wants to get off those tyres as well. So it'll be interesting to see where Lucullus comes out when either Rob or Tesco pits. That's the one to watch at the moment. So yeah, Lucullus is the lead runner. There's a yellow flag there. I think that was Devereaux, maybe? Was that a driver coming out of the pits? I'm not sure what happened there. It was a yellow flag that popped up, and Pace moved up to P7. Obviously still has to pit. Rob's still defending from Tesco. Tesco right in the back. The Aston Martin driver there. Chubby Slug made the pass on Kev on the hard tyres and is not in DRS yet. So this helps Rob and Tesco pull themselves away from the pack that was being led by Kev. So as it stands, Rob, Tesco and Lucullus are going to be the ones to fight for the lead. Lucullus has gone for the undercut. So I'm curious to see if either Rob or Tesco decide to go into the pits. At the moment, they both stay out. Rob and Tesco stay out. Lucullus doing something different. Chummy Slug has actually just yoinked into the DRS of Tesco, and Kev has pit. So, one to watch. Where will Kev come out? I think he's going to come out behind Lucullus. I'm actually going to stay on board with the Mercedes driver here. Lucullus, as you can see, is rounding the final corner at the moment. In fact, I'm going to go on board with Lucullus as he passes the pits. And Lucullus will come out ahead of Kev. In fact, Kev is going to come out behind Chiv. So Chiv with the undercut there. He does come out, though, just ahead of Skarma. Yeah, he does. So Skarma with his incident still is behind Kev, but it's still pretty close, isn't it? Baz and Devereaux there. Devereaux, sorry, that's Baz who heard off there. Baz has gone deep in turn 3 with some sort of incident. It looks like he's going to be passed by his teammate here. Does he know Devereaux decides to let his teammate go? Gio, that goes up the inside of Devereaux, excuse me. So as I switched there, Devereaux, I thought was just choosing not to overtake his teammate, but he's been lunged there by Gio, the Haas driver, in P8. So, at the top of your screen now, Chubby Slug and Rob and Tesco both pit. Tesco's gone a bit wide, avoids the time penalty, but look how much time he's lost to Rob there. So, Tesco, I went a bit deep into the pit entry there, didn't he? So he has actually lost a few seconds there, but this is the one to watch. Where is Rob going to come out in relation to Lucullus? You can see Lucullus going down the pit straight there. Lucullus is going to get a big dose of DRS because of the amount of traffic that he's in. He's going to go down the inside of Devereaux, is he? Lucullus stays out of it, but he's going to come out ahead of Rob. He does. So Lucullus is ahead of Rob. Rob is actually behind Chiv. Look at the undercut. My goodness. So Tesco comes out side by side with his teammate. I think we'll see how they work out. Rob has actually come up behind Chiv. So Lucullus has his teammate as a potential shield here, but he's got to look at the traffic he's got to deal with here. This is both Williams. Lucullus looks like he's going to part the sea here. Goes past one of them. Is he going to go on the outside of the other? Goes a bit deep. Doesn't want to run into the back. The Haas! Big snap! And the sea's parted for Lucullus. He's a very lucky boy. Indeed, Gio and Devereaux that was coming together, I think it was. And the car ghosted right as Lucullus went to go past it. Vibora is out. Unfortunate for the Haas driver. He will be 16th as a retirement. So all remaining drivers will score points as it stands. So big drama here. Tesco is behind his teammate. Skarma looks to have made the pass on Gio there. Gio potentially having some sort of... his tyres are absolutely rotten. Devereaux looking to go side by side. Gio, the defensive move from there. Devereaux not able to do anything. Gio defends. But will Devereaux have another go? I'm going to stay on board here. Rob does make the pass on Baz down the straight here as he looks to try and catch up to Lucullus. Devereaux there. Is he going to go down the inside of Gio? Gives a wide berth to the Haas driver. Goes down the inside. Will pick up a 3-second time penalty for good measure, unfortunately for him. He will get a dose of DRS and will try and run away from the Haas driver. The Haas driver surely not going to make a move down here. He is potentially going to make a move down the inside. No, he decides... Oh, he does go down the inside of the Williams driver there. Gio fighting like for everything for that position. Is he going to maintain the position or is Devereaux going to keep the inside? I think Devereaux's going to keep the inside a little bit outside of contact. Devereaux there is off. Devereaux is off. contact with him and Gio. The two drivers were just absolutely clanging into each other, and Devereaux's off. So Devereaux down in P13. Unfortunate for the Williams driver there, just a bit of contact between him and the Haas. Rob now has actually made the pass on Chiv. So keeping up, Tesco has swapped with his teammate. Rob has made the pass on Chiv. Rob is now hurling to try and get back up into the DRS of Luke. Chiv has picked up a 3-second time penalty chasing down Rob because he knows that he needs to be in between Lucalis and Rob to help Lucalis defend. But Rob, I tell you what, has actually just ever so slightly nicked into the DRS he has of Lucalis. So Lucalis undercut, tried to run away with it. Rob, on very slightly fresher tyres, is now in the DRS of Lucalis, and those two will be fighting. Tesco, with his incident in the pit lane, is just a little bit off of Chiv's DRS, so I don't think he'll be in contention. It'll be between Rob and Lucalis, our two championship contenders for the win of this race, unless we get a safety car. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good if we got a safety car? I love that. Pace extending on the medium tyres. Doesn't really feel like he had a choice after his incident. Chubby Slug, Michelando pits. So Michelando on the hard tyre. As pit, he's going to put on the mediums and run those to the end. So we'll see how that goes. Pace there. You can see how much he's struggling on those medium tyres, perhaps. So Lucalis is going to have to make the pass on his former teammate here. Lucalis with so much more grip on the back of him there. He will make the move for sure. Rob, though, is not going to be able to make the pass by the end of the straight. So Lucalis will have a bit of breathing space, perhaps. Lucalis in the net lead of this race. Chubby Slug still yet to pit. Excuse me. Rob there making the pass on pace, extending on those ancient medium tyres. Not a whole lot he can do. Tesco is right into the DRS of Chiv, so we'll see if Tesco can make the pass and try and make his way up. He knows he's running out of time before Rob and Lucalis pull themselves away from the rest of the pack. And it's all settled down just a little bit. A couple of drivers who are still yet to pit. Chubby Slug has yet to pit. Pace has yet to pit. Baz has yet to pit. Casper, who pitted early onto the medium tyres, will have to pit again. As it stands, everyone else has done their pit stop. Was that Tesco down on the inside of Chiv? No, I think it was. That was Pace going to the pits, I believe. Yeah, so Tesco right on the back of Chiv there. Lucalis looking to try and break the DRS, but Tesco will use DRS to pass by Chiv there. Tesco makes the pass into T1, and Tesco will now try and rein in Rob and Lucalis, unless Chiv is going to have another go at Tesco here. I tell you what, he's getting very, very close. Is Chiv going to send it up the inside? Kev's going to get a good view of it, but he stays out of it. Pace is come out of the pit, so he's going to come out ahead of the Alpines. So he's come out ahead of the Alpines. Yeah, so Lucalis still leads from Rob. Tesco just about 2 seconds behind, so he's still got a bit of work to do, but obviously Chiv is stuck in a complete Mercedes sandwich there. Musty in the background there, fighting with Mr. Seedy, I think that is. Musty going down the inside of Mr. C. Musty down the inside of Mr. Seedy, excuse me. Stumbled over my words there. Tesco has picked up a 3-second time penalty. So, Tesco, who is currently trying to gain on the battle between Rob and Luke, so we go on board with Rob here, has picked up a 3-second time penalty, which will go against him at the end of the race. 16 laps left to go. So, Skarma has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Chubby Slug is in the pits. Michelando has picked up a 3-second time penalty. But Lucalis and Rob are clean as you like. Michelando there, the fastest lap on the medium tyres, and P8 on those mediums. Him and Chubby Slug are going to have an absolute whale of a time, I think, making their way up to the pack there. That Skarma, well, Skarma's actually a little bit off, isn't he? Mussy there goes even quicker on the hard tyres. 106.7, brilliant from him there. Pace is on the back of Casper. We'll see what he can do there. Is he going to be able to make a pass on the Ferrari driver here? I think he's just biding his time. Pace there. Oh, it's a bit of contact. Casper a bit slow there. The mediums starting to die off. Obviously, Pace would have known what that was like with his old mediums. Pace is going to go down the inside, but Casper is going to fight this for certain, but Pace makes the move down the inside of T3. Pace there recovers to P10 on the hards, and it's got a lot of work to do. Baz ahead of him, still yet to pit, but what is that? Probably about 11 seconds behind Michelando on the fresh mediums, so we'll see what he can do. It's as you were. Oh, look at that in the back of your screen there. Was that Musty going on the inside of Casper? It is. In the middle sector. Great move from Musty there. Kev, also at the top of your screen there, has made a pass on Chiv, has he? Look at that side by side. T1 Chiv is actually ever so slightly better off there. Kev does have DRS, as does Chiv, but Kev's got a bit more battery. Is Kev going to send it down the inside of T3 here? Look at the move from the inside of Kev. He does make the pass, but he goes off the track. So he's going to have to give that one back. And Kev has got it all to do again. So Kev trying and failing to pass by Chiv there. So one to watch. Skarma has been passed by Chubby Slug. So the medium tire is absolutely alight at the moment. Skarma has been passed. Very unfortunate for him. He has bitten on those hards, so he's going to take those to the end of Rob. Look how close he is to the back of Lucullus there. Rob goes side by side with Lucullus in sector 2, and Rob makes the pass. Rob is in the lead. What on earth happened there? Did Rob make a move in sector 2, or did Lucullus get on the curb? We know that those inside curbs and the outside curbs can be so slippery, and Lucullus has got it all to do now. He was defending his position pretty happily in P1, and he's got to try and gain it back. Or does he sit behind Rob for the next couple of laps and then choose when to make the pass? So Tesco was actually that much closer. He's carrying a 3-second time penalty, but he's just trying to get into the DRS ever so slightly. Knows that, you know, if these two pick up a penalty, then it'll all be even Stevens. And Lucullus sits behind Rob here. He's going to try and get the better run out of this corner. He's got oodles of battery. He's got his DRS on. He's going to choose not to use his battery, though. And Lucullus is just going to sit behind Rob as happy as Larry until he decides he needs to make the move. Kev is that much closer to Chiv, but not close enough to make a move. So swap for the lead once again, but these two know that any position they're in now is not going to matter. It's going to be what matters at the end if they all keep it clean. You can see drivers there. Tesco's picked up 6 seconds of time penalties, as is Chiv. Kev is carrying 3. So time penalties could very well define this race. I'll tell you what, Pace is absolutely has a big grin under his helmet now, because if he can get onto the back of this train with Baz still yet to pit, then Pace could be in a very good position to gain a lot of positions, especially if there's a safety car. If there's a safety car, it blows this completely open for certain. So I need to go all the way over here. Lucullus, is he going to make a move? Tesco is in the DRS. He's that much closer. So I'm going to get rid of this here. Look at this. Lucullus going around the outside of Rob here. Lucullus regains his position in the lead, but knows that Rob will get a lovely dose of DRS. Tesco is right on the back of this battle, knows that he has to be there or thereabouts in case either of these drivers picks up a 3-second time penalty. Lucullus, is he going to defend from Rob there? Rob does not go down the inside. Excuse me, I was still on Lucullus's picture there. Chiv is still defending from Kev in the background, but Chubby Slug is right on the back of that battle. So, one to watch indeed. I'm curious here if Lucullus just had a moment. Baz is in the pit, so Baz has just come out of the pits, excuse me, alongside his teammate Devereaux there. We'll keep the tyres on there so people can see what they look like. But is Tesco going to get involved here? I'm interested. I don't know how many warnings Rob and Lucullus have had. So I'd be very interested to see what happens here. Chubby Slug is right in this battle here. He is really interested in potentially fighting for P4, it would be, yeah, because Tesco's pulled away from Chiv, isn't he? So Kev looks like he's going to be making the move well, defends from Chiv, excuse me. Yeah, so he's passed Chiv at some point. Chubby Slug also passes Chiv. Chiv, is he going to try and defend on the inside? He doesn't. He waits to fight another day. It's as you were at the top of your picture. I'm going to check and see if Rob is going to make a move down the inside of Lucullus. Rob is getting that much closer. Rob is going to go down the inside of the McLaren driver. And Rob retakes the lead of this race. 3 different net race leaders. Casper has pitted onto the medium tyres. He's had enough of those, so we'll see if he can regain any points. He will still score points on his debut if he finishes the race. So we'll see where he comes out. Got a lot of work to do. So Rob leads from Lucullus, leads from Tesco. Tesco carrying 6 seconds of time penalties as it stands, not in contention for the race lead unless something absolutely miraculous happens. Chubby Slug has made the pass on both Kev and Chiv, so we'll see if he can get involved on those medium tyres. That would be a brilliant run on the alt strategy from him. Of course, Rob and Lucullus haven't been driving at full pelt because they've been trying to save battery, haven't they? Lucullus is using his battery that he's used to go around the outside, and we're going to see, it's like deja vu going around the outside. Rob will let him have it, and then have a double dose of DRS to make another move. So these two absolutely playing a game of chess here, trying to make sure that they are. Look at Rob going down the inside. They trade positions once again. It's just like last year between Rob and Luke. Well, with Lucas being involved in it. Yellow flag at sector 3. Who's that? I think that's Casper, who's had an off. Has he? So Casper's recovered, yes, but he had some sort of an off. Geo and Mr. CD trading positions there. Geo has made the overtake on Mr. CD. Is Mr. CD going to have a go back at the Haas driver here? Gets the DRS on, uses his battery here. Geo managed to get a bit of a pull out. I don't know if Mr. CD is going to be close enough to make a move. He doesn't really have the battery to make a move. He's on the older tyres, and he has to concede. P11 to Geo. Mr. CD, a little bit of gravel there from the Alpine driver as well. So, Chubby Slug absolutely flying at the moment. He's actually getting quite close to the back of Tesco there, isn't he? But he is carrying a penalty. So yeah, he'll be fighting Tesco for position if he can get into it. Tesco knows that he just needs to sit in the DRS of these two who are fighting at the moment in order to try and protect his P3 position. Lucas now on the back of Rob. These two will trade positions once again. I'll get rid of all of the gubbins as we see them go all the way down to the hairpin. No, it's turn 4, excuse me. They've already been to the hairpin with no change. Yellow flag there. Chubby Slug is actually really close to the back of... Kev made the pass on Chubby Slug, excuse me. So Kev has remade the pass on Chubby Slug. Chubby Slug looks like he's going to go around the outside of the Mercedes driver. Brilliant move. You would have caught it in the mirror there. Chubby Slug with a great move to regain P4, but it lets the front 3 run away just that much more. Devereaux there is in the pits. I don't know if he had to change his wing or something, but he'll be behind Casper. That was what the yellow flag was for. Lucas there. Still as you were. So Chubby Slug will still try and get onto this DRS, but he's got it all to do after Kev passed him. Yellow flag is Devereaux, I think. Yeah, Devereaux off the track there. I don't know what's happened to the Williams driver there. I don't think he's got wing damage, but something has obviously happened to him there. Kev makes the Chubby Slug, and Kev's still fighting for position. Chubby Slug defends this one around the outside, and Chubby Slug is going to have to start looking behind him instead of ahead of him for shorten. But Tesco is that much closer to Lucas, doesn't make the move. Knows that it's not his battle. Pace as it stands is one of all these 3 drivers to not be carrying any time penalties. So, Rob and Luke in for a fight for the race win with just a few laps left. Pace is just trying to gain on those fresher hards onto the sort of battle that's going on between Kev, Chiv, and Chubby Slug, Scum, and Michelando as well, knowing that he will be able to pick up any gains if he can get that a little bit closer because he's not carrying any penalties to try and recover from his incident earlier. Lucas with that bit of a snap there, isn't it? So, Chubby Slug is the next one to watch here. Kev could very well make a move on the Ferrari driver down to T1. He looks defensive, decides not to go for it. I'm curious if Tesco is going to make a move on Lucas there, who's actually very close to him there. Lucas is gaining actually on Rob, knows that he's going to have to make this move happen at some point, and Lucas will fight and take P1. Rob's actually going to fight this one all the way around the outside. Rob doesn't want to let this one go. Rob is going to get a lovely dose of DRS and will make the pass. Lucas is without DRS. Is Tesco going to make the move down the inside of Lucas? Is he indeed? Tesco goes down the inside. Any contact? No. Tesco just ekes out of it. Maybe didn't want to accidentally take him out. Kev repasses Chubby Slug down to T3. These two are having an absolutely titanic battle on 2 very different tyres. So fascinated to see how that one works out. But look at that. Tesco tried to go up the inside, was nothing doing there. Lucas nearly was in an absolute hole, part of trouble. So, Rob, look how close they are to each other. There's a tenth separating each of them there, as Rob is just desperately trying to get whatever battery that he can. Lucas has got a fair bit of battery. Rob has a fair bit of battery. Tesco has a fair bit of battery. It's anyone's game on who will cross the line first. Obviously, we say Tesco's not going to be in it. So, I'm just having a look here. Chiv is kind of close to Chubby Slug, unless Chubby Slug looks like he's going to make a move. I need to go up the top here, because I thought Tesco was going to make a move again. Every time I switch off these 3, they just get that much closer together, don't they? Chiv is unable to make the move on Chubby Slug, but we'll see how they get on in just a minute. I want to look here and see if Tesco is again going to make the move on Lucas. Looks at the inside, decides nothing doing. Chubby Slug is that much closer to Kev, but not close enough. Baz, way down in the background there, looks like he's made the pass on Mr. Seedy. He has. So going down onto the pit straight, makes the pass on Mr. Seedy. But Mr. Seedy is going to get a dose of DRS and use his battery. And Mr. Seedy is going to go around the outside of the Williams driver, excuse me. The Williams driver looks, is he going to try and defend it? He decides to stick out of it, but he's going to get the switch back. Oh, it's a big snap on the old medium tyres, and Mr. Seedy does not have to worry about another attack. Looking at the grid there, Chiv has made the pass on. No, Chubby Slug's in the pits. So Chubby Slug's taken off the medium tyres. Interesting. After only 9 laps, I think that's quite early. Is he going to go for the softs? That's an interesting strategy from Chubby Slug because he was right in the battle there for P4. Interesting what's happened there. But look at Kev is very close to the Tesco is even close to the back of Lucalis there, excuse me, but doesn't make the move. Lucalis doesn't make the move on Rob either. So Lucalis having to defend. Is Tesco going to make the move happen this time? Tesco goes down the inside of turn 3. Lucalis is going to try and fight it around the outside. Oh, Chubby Slug's had to retire. That's very unfortunate. Lucalis there defends his position to P2. Great racing from Lucalis and Tesco there. Rob retains P1. Chubby Slug, unfortunate from him that I think he's just, he's left the session actually. I don't think he's retired. I will check him, and I don't actually have him as a friend to invite him, but someone else might be able to. I don't know if he's had some sort of, he's had to leave, which is unfortunate for him because he was flying, wasn't he? So, Rob still leading at the moment. Baz and Mr. Seedy still swapping positions. Tesco is even that much closer to Lucalis. Doesn't want to make the move down into turn 1. Mr. Seedy has been passed by Baz. But we'll keep an eye on that battle and see how that gets on. So Tesco's still on the back of Lucalis here as I try and get onto the top here. I suspect Tesco here doesn't want to make the move because he knows he is carrying 6 seconds of penalty down the inside of Lucalis there. My goodness me. I'm not sure what happened there. So that is a driver stationary at the end of turn 2. I'm not sure what that is there. Is Chubby Slug, who I think is, well, it looks like some sort of technical issue there, so we will ignore that for the moment and keep on track with this. So Rob is just still defending his position, knows that really it's all going to come down to lap 36. So the interval appears to be slightly broken there because Chubby Slug's car appears to be glitched, so we're going to ignore that for the moment and see where is Devereaux actually. Yeah, Devereaux is still going around. I don't know why it counts him as behind Chubby Slug. We're just going to ignore that. And look at the top of your screen here. So, Lucalis still on the back. Tesco just nipping at the heels of Lucalis, just pushing him along. Says, come on, tag me along, so I don't have to worry about my time penalties. Lucalis is going to go down the inside, I think. Pace is also potentially going to make a move. I want to go back, see, did Lucalis make a move on the inside of Rob? He did indeed. So, Lucalis has regained his position at the top, but Rob is going to fight this one back. Rob gets a lovely dose of DRS, and Tesco might not have much of a choice but to pass. Lucalis here goes down the inside, does he? Tesco down the inside on the McLaren driver, and Lucalis has fallen to P3. This is a disaster. So Tesco looks, is he going to defend the outside? Is Lucas going to go around the outside here? Lucalis using a lot of battery to go around the outside. Tesco still going to defend this one. Lucalis makes the move around. I think Tesco didn't fight that one too much because he knows it's not really his battle. But my goodness me, that would have been a disaster for Lucalis if he was stuck behind Tesco there. So Chiv is very close to the back of Kev, I believe he is indeed. So these are all fighting. Kev, though, is only carrying 3 seconds of time penalties. Pace is getting onto the back of Mika Lando here. Knows that even if he's not able to pass Mika Lando here, he'll regain the position because of time penalties. But this is the one to watch up here. 33 lap out of 36. Whoever is the secondary car at the start of lap 36 is going to be in an absolutely brilliant position to take the lead and the win of this race. So, Pace does make the pass on Michelando in the background there. You just caught the end of it on your screen going down to P2. We'll see if Michelando fights this one back at all. Rob still keeps P1 if you ignore the Ferrari driver there. Michelando, with his medium tyres just starting to struggle ever so slightly. Pace moves ahead to P7 and has got his work cut out to him to try and catch up to Skarma to maybe swap with his teammate in terms of time penalties. He won't get any closer to Kev and Chiv as it stands. So Chiv there still defending from Kev. Rob still defending from Luke. So this is the one to watch. Know that time penalties could decide this at any moment. Both drivers being ever so careful on their tires. I think, look at Kev. Look at Kev. Is he going to make a move down the inside or down the outside of Chiv? Chiv actually just lets Kev go there because he knows that Chiv is going to get an absolutely brilliant dose of DRS here. Slaps the DRS on, but did he do too much? Is he going to be able to catch up to Kev here? So Lugal is still staying behind Rob. We're really into the final minutes now of this race. Kev there up into P4 with 3 seconds time penalties over Chiv's 6 seconds. So Kev on for a very tidy P4 as it stands, too far away from his teammate to really make a difference. This is what we want to watch. Kev and Chiv obviously will be fighting it out, but unless Kev picks up another time penalty, then he will finish ahead of Chiv as it stands. Those two are very close, but this is the one to watch. 2 more laps to go. Is it going to be Rob or is it going to be Luke? We'll have to see. It's going to be very exciting indeed. So, 2 more laps. Tesco has been keeping out of it, not his battle. I'm going to turn off the HUD for the last 2 laps as we see Rob lead his way along. What will happen here? Tesco just getting himself towed along, as we said. He will finish a pretty tidy P3 as it stands. Lucalis gaining on Rob. Tesco, look at Tesco going down the side by side with Lucalis. Oh my god, I thought he was going to make a move around the outside. I get so excited when I see it, but I know Tesco's just going to back out of it. But there's not a lot he can do with the DRS. But this is it, lap 35 or 36. Lucalis is where he wants to be. He's behind Rob as it stands. Lucalis knows that he will dump absolutely everything that he's got in one of those DRS zones in order to try and get the lead. Rob obviously leading the championship from pace actually at the moment. Lucalis is actually in P3 after 2 torrid races. So Lucalis would very much like this win for certain, wouldn't he? But he's going to have to fight for it. Rob will not let it go easily as we round the corner for the penultimate corner for the final lap of the race. Will it be Rob in the Aston Martin or will it be Lucalis in the McLaren? Double check. No time penalties. Look at this. Lucalis gaining on Rob here. Gaining on Rob. Gaining on Rob. Nothing happening. But he's that much closer to Rob here. And Rob is going to have a titanic battle here to try and defend this. Rob is going to use whatever battery he has. Lucalis has got the DRS open. Lucalis has got the ERS on. Lucalis goes down the inside and makes the pass for the lead of the final lap. But Rob is going to get the switchback on him here. Rob lights up his tires a little bit. He's going to have DRS. He's going to use whatever battery he has. And Rob here is going to go around the outside of Lucalis. And Rob is going to retake the lead going into Sector 2. These two swap positions. We knew it was coming, but what mattered was who led at the end of this lap here, at the end of those couple of corners. And it will be Rob who leads them along, unless Lucalis could do something absolutely outrageous, but there's not a lot of place to make a move here. Indeed, is there? Lucalis, though, he's that much closer to Rob. I don't think he's going to make a move. I'm going to go on board here as Rob was pole in the sprint, won the sprint, no, second in the sprint, pole in qualifying. Rob will round the final corner here, and Rob wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Lucalis comes home in second, Tesco in third, Chiv will come home in P4, but Kev will jump him for P4. Chiv finishes P5. Skarma will come home in P6, but Pace will swap with him for P6. Skarma then P7. Mika Lando comes home in P8. Musty will round us out next to see where the Alpine driver finishes. He will come home in P9 as it stands, unless he's carrying any more penalties. Gio there in no, it will be P9 due to Musty's time penalties. Baz will round the last couple of corners. I think that's Gio's best finish in the league so far as well, excuse me. Baz will come home in P11. Mr. Seedy rounding the final corners on those 24 lap. Old hard tyres. Let's see where Mr. Seedy puts it. It's P12. Casper in P13. Devereaux there in P14. And Chubby Stoke, who obviously retired at the very end. Thank you all so much. That was a brilliant race. That ending was absolutely spectacular. I knew they were going to go hammer and tong. And Rob was the one who made it stick. And Rob will extend his lead that much further at the end of at the championship, at the pointy end of the championship. Driver of the day. This is going to be an interesting one. See, I need to. I have to think now. Actually, I would have given it to Chubby Stuck. See, if he hadn't retired, poor bugger. I shall and on my driving there. I kind of want to see the standings to remind me when I qualified, but we will watch this happen here. Tesco on the podium as well. So good run from him. Tesco obviously had a very unfortunate start to the season, didn't he? Had a lot of unluckiness, but has been putting in result after result. He is going to be right up in the mixer for the top end of the table at the end of the season. Having a look here, I think I am going to agree with the game. You know, I think I'm going to agree with the game. Lucullus, I think he did very well. He obviously invalidated at the end of his qualifying there. He put his strategy very well. He actually undercut brilliantly. And, well, it was just a game, wasn't it, of where you were going to end up. Were you going to end up, which car were you going to end up as at the final lap? But P2 is nothing to be sad about at all. So driver of the day, I will give to Lucullus, absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here, for listening to my absolute yap. My throat needs some recovery and a bit of beer now. But yes, Rob extends his lead at the top of the championship. We will be, where are we next week? Let me have a look and see where we are. Oh, my voice is all over the place. We are in Silverstone. Oh, next Sunday, the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. That's going to be a cracker, isn't it? That's going to be an absolute cracker. So I look forward to seeing you all for that. Appreciate you all, and I will see you next Sunday.